I made a huge mistake. I Googled what happens when you die, and now I can't sleep. Because what scientists just discovered is nothing like I expected, not even close.
For thousands of years, humanity has asked the same question. What really happens when we die? Religions tried to explain, philosophers debated, and now science is finally joining the conversation. What researchers discovered about the dying brain might completely change the way you think about life. So I decided to find out for myself. Probably not the best idea at 2 in the morning, but here we are. In 2013, researchers at the University of Michigan did something no one had ever done before. They connected EEG machines to terminal patients to literally watch a brain die. And when the heart stopped beating, the brain didn't fade out, it lit up. Massive gamma waves, the same ones that appear during deep meditation or moments of creativity, but up to 10 times stronger. The dying brain wasn't shutting down, it was speeding up. So, the last few seconds of my life might be the most active? Oh, great. Totally fine, completely fine with that. But here's the part scientists didn't expect. The brain seems to try to create peace when it realizes the body's dying. It's as if the neurons understand this is the end, and instead of panicking, they release calm. A chemical wave floods the brain with memories, light, and meaning. Doctors call it the final wave. It's like the brain gives us one last gift, a beautiful goodbye. One neurologist described it like this: the brain doesn't want you to suffer, so it shows you the most beautiful memory it can. Some scientists believe it's the same mechanism behind dreams, when the mind transforms fear into images of light, love, and faces we miss. Maybe that tunnel of light so many people describe isn't just a myth. Maybe it's biology trying to help us cross gently. And there's more. Doctors have observed something called terminal lucidity, when someone on the verge of death suddenly becomes lucid, awake, even joyful. Hours before they pass, the person talks, laughs, eats, says goodbye, as if some part of them already knows they're going home. This isn't superstition, it's science, and it's strangely beautiful. People who technically died and were brought back almost always describe the same 5 sensations. First, separation, seeing their own body from above. No fear, just observation. Then, the tunnel of light, a warm, calm, welcoming space. Next, the flood of memories, their whole life flashing in seconds, but felt, not remembered. Then someone appears, sometimes a relative, sometimes just a presence that radiates love and peace. And that presence, without saying a word, makes you understand it's okay. And then comes peace, not silence, not darkness, a stillness so deep it feels like returning. One man said, "It wasn't the end, it was completion." Another said, "It felt like I was going home." I've read hundreds of these stories. People who drowned, who had cardiac arrest, who came back. And most of them say the same thing. Dying doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like relief. Even those who were terrified before they died said the fear vanished the moment it began. Maybe nature has a mercy switch. While we fight to live, it gives us panic. But the moment we let go, it gives us peace. Maybe that's why we say, rest in peace.
So maybe the real fear isn't of death itself. Maybe it's the fear of leaving too soon, before saying I love you one more time, before living everything we still had time for. Because the people who've been there and came back don't talk about what they lost. They talk about what truly mattered, the affection, the presence, the time. Maybe that's what death comes to teach us, that life isn't about avoiding the end, but about embracing the middle. We don't know what comes after, but we know what we have now, and that's enough to live wide awake.
So, that's it. I'm Andy, a professional hypochondriac with Wi-Fi, cold coffee, and way too much imagination. My brain invents diseases faster than Google can diagnose them, and I turn that into a channel. If you've ever Googled your symptoms at 3 in the morning or were absolutely sure a sneeze was the end, you're in the right place. Here, we talk about fear, curiosity, the body, the mind, and all the chaos that happens in between. So hit subscribe, because in the next videos, I promise to keep doing what I do best, freaking out with style and making you laugh or think while I'm at it. Trust me, this is the only channel where anxiety gets a script and panic becomes content.
But jokes aside, sometimes I think this whole fear says more about living than about dying. The truth is, we spend so much time worrying about the end that we forget to enjoy the middle. Maybe I am a hypochondriac, but at least it reminds me every single day that being alive is still a miracle. And that's why, even when I'm scared, I'm still here, talking, laughing, trying to understand. One day, we'll all find out what really happens when we die. But until then, I want to live as if the answer's already here. Because maybe understanding death is just another way of learning how to live.